The newest out there about Tom Brady continues to make people think that what happened with Brady's retirement, the sudden stepping down of Bruce Arians, that all of this is absolutely connected, because it's not just one random person saying this. It's now a lot of people coming out and confirming that this is what was going on behind the scenes. Tom Brady nearly joined the Dolphins as a player owner. Tom Brady was reportedly very close to joining the Miami Dolphins as a player and owner. The deal was dropped following Brian Flores' lawsuit against the team. Before he unretired to join Tampa Bay, Tom Brady nearly signed with another NFL team as a player and an owner. He was reportedly near a deal to join the Miami Dolphins in a rare combined role. But those plans were scuttled by the Brian Flores lawsuit filed the same day against the Dolphins, the NFL, 5 other teams, and 26 John Doe teams. Flores alleged racist hiring from Dolphins. Steven owner offered him $100,000 for every game. Flores also said Ross tried to make him break the league tampering rules. The quarterback was reportedly Brady, and he was nearing the end of his tenure with the New England Patriots. The Dolphins were ready to announce the deal on Super Bowl weekend, along with the hiring of Sean Payton as a head coach. But then once all this news came out, once Brian Flores, the lawsuit, everything came out, it got scrapped. And that results in Tom Brady coming back, which also coincides with Bruce Arians suddenly stepping down, all the while throwing shade at Brady publicly. This is nuts.
Okay, hang on a minute. This line, am I missing something? The quarterback was reportedly Brady as he was ending his time with the Patriots.
This is not a typo. This is, Flores also said Ross tried to make him break league tampering rules to recruit a top quarterback. That's talking about when Tom was leaving New England, right? Because he had the Brian Flores New England connection. That's what that's talking about.
Okay, got it. So yeah, this whole thing is crazy. So first of all, thanks, Brian Flores. Your victim mentality fucked up a massive storyline that could have been amazing. But I wish this would have happened. I do, just because I think it would have been crazy to see him back into the AFC East. You know what I mean? That would have been insane. I would have liked to seen this all play out. It's crazy because years and years ago, this is a long time ago, I always thought about, I was like, man, it would be so cool to see Brady in Miami, just because I've always loved the Miami Dolphins uniforms and their colors and everything like that. I'm still pissed off that they changed the logo, because the old logo is better than the new logo, and it's not even close. Shout out to Ace Ventura. But, you know, but to see this happen with the Sean Payton element, man, this would have been massive. This would have been crazy.
And to be a minority owner.
Yeah.
To get stake in the Miami Dolphins and be an owner on the team and a player.
Yeah, this has been monumental. So now the question comes up is, will he still be willing to make a move after this year? You know, and what's going to happen in Miami? How's the, like, you know, there's a lot of
McDaniel
questions.
is the head coach now.
Right. And then,
and you know the kind of backlash they'll get if they
fire a black coach.
A blackish coach.
What if they fired another black coach? But I think the idea of Tom Brady going there isn't outlandish. And if now, once all these pieces are coming together, and if this was Tom Brady's plan all along, and this retirement was never a real retirement,
well, I think that's what we're learning. I don't think that he was ever going to retire. I don't think retirement was ever an option. I think the retirement was a political move for his, I guess, unhappiness with Bruce Arians, or maybe, you know, or whatever. Like, it's a crazy scenario. It's crazy. But again, I am continuing to say this does feel more like LeBron behavior, though, too. Like he's
the Dolphins would have had to trade for Brady.
So they would have. So essentially the plan was, here, I'll show you. This is a little more in detail. After Brady became a minority owner, the Dolphins would have indeed acquired the contractual rights to employ Sean Payton from the Saints. Then the Dolphins would have at some point had to get the rights from the Buccaneers to bring Brady on the roster. There
would have been a lot of moving parts.
It would have been a lot of moving parts, but, you know, the Buccaneers wouldn't have had a ton of leverage. You know, I mean, what do you do if he doesn't want to play for you? He's going to retire,
Right.
or you can get a couple picks, or whatever, like a 3rd round pick for Tom Brady. That would have been like kind of the hand that they tried to force. But it also explains why Sean Payton so suddenly retired.
I was
like
gonna
that came out of
ask
nowhere.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So now my question would be, if it doesn't happen in Miami, would it happen somewhere else? Now, Miami, I think Miami is a Giselle deal. I think Giselle wants to be in Miami.
I don't discount Miami. It would have been cool to get Sean Payton on board, but I guess we'll see how Mike McDaniel does. I think that Tom Brady, now what's very appealing to that is the offense. Now you have Tyreek Hill, you got Waddle, you got the tight end who had a really good season last year. I mean, you got pieces down there.
They're loaded in Miami.
They're loaded from the offensive side.
But see, the problem is like, I think that they're poised to have a good season in Miami. I do.
That's the thing.
Now maybe that's because I'm got my Tua fanboy hat on or whatever. But like, I think you got a great coach that's going to complement Tua. You've got a ton of pieces. I don't see how you can get rid of. Like, I don't know how you can blow this up, especially with Miami having all of the controversy surrounding them with the Brian Flores thing. I just don't see how they can pull that off now, unless it's just a disastrous season. You know what I mean? It's got to be a disaster. It's got to be 4-12, 4-13, whatever. I just can't see it happening. So the question would be, is Sean Payton and Brady actively looking at another destination potentially for next year? Now, the first thing I thought when Bruce Arians retired, the first thing I was thinking was like, well, now Brady's going to bring in whatever coach he wants. But, that's not really what happened.
Man,
so
that would have been, I believe the Bucs would have got crushed if Bruce Arians retired and they bring in Sean Payton there. They would have got crushed for racism.
Yeah, they would have.
Leftwich there, and of course you got the guy that got down. I can't. What's his name?
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles, yeah. I can't.
Todd Bowles, and you got
who's now the head coach. Todd Bowles is now the head coach. Todd Bowles is the guy who called the ridiculous fucking defensive play that led to the Rams beating them, and going down to tie that. But what a mess,
this is wild, man. This is wild. So I wonder what's going to happen in Tampa. I think Rob Gronkowski's decision will be pretty interesting because if
he's coming back.
If he doesn't come back, I feel like Brady
he doesn't want to go to the off-season stuff.
Yeah.
Gronk just wants to come in after training camp and fucking kind of play the first 8 games, get tuned up, ready to go second half of the season, then be there for the playoffs. That's all he wants to do at this point.
Yeah. It's crazy. So I don't think the story's going away. And to me, it's not the best look for Brady at this point, but it's not terrible either. It's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? But it's just it's going to be.
He's still going back to the same team he played for.
Yeah.
So it's not terrible.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
You talk about it being like LeBron. I'll say like the biggest difference in my mind is that LeBron makes all this shit public.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Brady's he spent 20 years in one place. And this will be his third year on another team.
Yeah, obviously, I don't think Brady's
in his
like
old
LeBron.
years.
I'm just saying specifically this one thing. There's a lot of drama surrounding it. A lot 100% of drama. And this isn't what we've come to know and you respect from Brady.
And I think with all this coming out, I do think it puts a little bit different perspective on his time in New England as well.
Yes.
And the relationship with Belichick and how that may have played out differently, or more close to some reports than many of us thought.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely puts a spin on things.